Okay, come over and I will take you there. Thanks for staying, everybody over there. Thanks for to all my colleagues being wonderful up so far. And well, Portugal. One of the intentions about making this tour in Portugal is like it was done just for myself. If I didn't know the place, which I do, okay, it's like my second home. Um, uh, it's just to give you everything because Portugal in Europe. I consider it like the world exotic country. Portugal is a country that has so much history, so much unknown uh, things that could be presented to those who are not familiar with the Portuguese culture. That's seriously, to me, is really, really exciting to make this tour, to have done this tour, to have programmed this tour. And also, we're going to have some surprises, like we all do, little surprises, along the line. Gastronomy to me is a huge, big part of the visiting a country, a part of the culture as well. So we're going to start the tour in the northern part of Portugal. Most of the agents and trips they start in Lisbon because it's the most international airport. But Porto, which is in the north, um, is they have a lot of connections with the rest of the continent in Europe, and we end in Lisbon. So we're doing kind of reverse and off the season. One of the things I want to remind is that when this tour is done by the middle of November, there's 2 days in between when I start my Catalonia, the one I presented earlier. So in case that you have a family gathering or you are celebrating your 25th anniversary of being married and you want to treat yourself with two trips in a row, you have 2 days to transition from Portugal to Spain to do the Catalonian one. But anyway, as I said, starting in Lisbon, what you see there, those beautiful tiles around, that is part of the Portuguese culture, the tiles. In fact, this photo belongs to the Cathedral of Oporto. Here is a very basic map. To be honest, it's just taken from Google Maps. And as you see, Porto is in the north. It's part of the Iberian Peninsula, the country of Portugal. And halfway down towards Lisbon, you can see the city of Coimbra and then Lisbon. We are splitting the trip in 2 stays. 4 nights in Oporto and 5 in Lisbon. And the way we are moving, we're going to Coimbra to visit one of the most reputed and high class universities considered in the entire continent of Europe. This is the opera house of Porto. And well, I'm not going to say much about it. I'm not going to say what it represents, but it's the same architect of a very, very famous in Seattle as well. So Portugal, as I say, is a country of a lot of contrast. This is what considered one of the best modern art museums, not only in Portugal, but in the entire European continent, which is the Cervantes Foundation. And here it is one of the iconic bridges of the city of Oporto. The river that you see, a fifth of the length of that river, is in Portuguese territory. The other four parts is in Spanish territory. So we share the stream. And well, that bridge was made by a partner of Gustav Eiffel. So that's why you might see all the iron structure is very similar to the structure that is the Eiffel Tower. I don't mean at all to say it's the same thing, but no, it reminds you a little bit the architecture. Okay, one of the days we're going to go up the stream of the river Douro, and can you see these terraces made with the land? This is where the port wine and also table wines, just regular wines, are grown. This is a state thing. It's organized by the state. There is a lot of regulations, and it all became after the huge big earthquake that suffered Portugal and destroyed the city of Lisbon in 1755. So it was the Marques de Pombal who regulated all those things. There's a lot of history behind. Also, when we are back in Porto, Porto actually means port. Okay. And it was where all the sellers used to go there with the wines and the little boats that were taking the wines to the port to be exported to the rest of to the rest of the world. So it was resting in those cellars, and we're having also a wonderful tasting. Then we are moving to Coimbra. As I said, Coimbra, this is the entrance of the chapel that hosts or is hosted inside of the university complex, which is everything around here. This is one of the monarchs. You're gonna see Portugal is not a monarchy; it's a republic nowadays. It finished being a monarchy at the beginning of the 1900s. There is a lot of history behind, a lot of political history, especially political history, but they respect a lot and they pay a lot of tributes to their monarchs that made the country what it is right now. Then we arrive to Lisbon. This, what you see, is the Tower of Belém, the district of Belém. Believe it or not, this is the place where all the ships, all the navigators before the Castilian took over and dominated most of the world, Portuguese, they were the masters and they dominated the navigation all over. So this point here, which is opposite to the Jerónimos Monastery, which is something also included in our visit, this is what they consider their Cape Canaveral, where all the ships used to stop there, go to the monastery, the captains of the vessels, to get their blessings from the church, and then navigate away. This is another beautiful Manueline style together with Gothic, different styles, not far from the city of Lisbon. This is actually in Sintra. And this is a visit which is included in our tour, of course. This is also in Sintra, and this is a palace that it can be visited on your own, okay? And it's called the Palace of the Bottles. Imagine why. Just because of the chimneys. And the chimneys that are just underneath is where the kitchen of the palace is. This is the Jerónimos Monastery's cloister. It's absolutely beautiful. Restored like about 20 years ago. They did a magnificent, magnificent job. And actually, of course, it is a must. And of course, port wine and pastéis de natas. Natas is cream and pastéis is like a cake. This is something to die for. This little piece of cake together with the sweetness of the port wine. In total, it's going to be 9 days. 10 days, 9 nights, divided 4 in Oporto, and the rest, excuse me, the rest is going to be in Lisbon. And of course, in Lisbon, being a bigger airport, you have even chances to make, I think they do have like 3 direct connections with the United States. And like not similar, not the same, but this is how you say in Portuguese, adios amigos. And that's the presentation of my Portuguese tour. So guys, I really hope to see you there. I put my heart and my soul in this place, but only just for your enjoyment. Okay. So thank you so much for paying attention.